It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. He's Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stay on this front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, he'll pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey, hey.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, Erie County. Here we are again, Wednesday night. What a beautiful day. I mean, today, tell me, if you didn't go outside and enjoy today, you must have been like really, really sick because it was a gorgeous day. You know, I had some running around to do this morning. Worked in the driveway on some big 4x8 signs for Stacy and Mr. McCormick. You know, they need boots on the grounds to help do this stuff. So it's that time. And you know, I guess my delivery of Stacy Garrity 4x8 signs will be coming in on Friday. I already got Dave McCormick's. I got one deployed out to Northeast. This one, I'm not 100% sure where we're going to put it yet, but we're going to find a good home for it. So it is campaign time. But I tell you what, it is really warming up. And boy, I tell you what, we're going to get into that, but we're going to go through the regular rigmarole that we do every Wednesday. That way we can say, I didn't know nothing about it, Brian. Well, you know, applications for registration applications for mail-in ballot requests. These things are flying off the old box. Kim put together these little grab bags, and it's got all the different candidates' information. It's got a mail-in ballot. People are like, hey, I don't need that. I'm already registered. No, your mission is to take this home, put it on your counter, and if someone needs one, goes, I got that. We've been down the dock quite a bit. Pretty positive. Lots of positive. Lots of people stopping by. People from Canada stopping by. We nice group of folks came up. We had a little incident with one of my stalker that likes to come to my house and drive by with his sunglasses on and his head pulled way down low, so we can't see him, but we know who he is. And, of course, he, had to tell he's real brave to Brenda. He won't say nothing to me. He won't confront me. He won't say a word to me, but, he's a real tough guy and, tells Brenda she's number one. And it was funny because we're down there at the dock. We're doing our thing, voter registration, plenty of bags, doing what we do. People getting pictures with, with the mannequin, and that's what people wanna do. They wanna feel like they're part of this, and this is a movement, I'm telling you. We've had elections before, everybody go, "Yeah, woo." I'm telling you, the excitement that's going on because we'll jump back to this one later. We'll circle back around to that one later. But the point is, the people are excited, this is the one that we got, you'll see that everyone's gonna get these in the mail. This one came from Donald Trump, for the primary, so don't get alarmed. They're like, "What is that? Oh my god. Brian. I got 5 applications for a mail-in ballot." "Well, you got these, and yeah, you might have gotten 5," because everyone's gonna send you one. The Democrats are pushing, the Republicans are gonna be pushing. So, the only one that we're pushing, that we literally, have in our possession are the official Pennsylvania voter registration application, and then, get you w we were at an event. Kim's sitting in a lawn chair, nice day. We're in Waterford. The guy's like, "Hey, hey, Brian, how's it going?" Talk, chit chat, chit chat. Kim's like, "Hey, do you want to register for mail-in ballot?" He's like, "Yeah, let me take one from my dad." So I'm like, "Well, man, she's a great salesperson, and I get that." Let me this overlay here so you can see so we can see. There's everybody. I can see and hear you. Good. I always like to get that. Hey, Stan, thanks for stopping by. And this was another example that we got in the mail. This was in the primary, but like I said, don't get excited. They look different, they walk different, but when you open them up, they're all exactly see because this one talks about the primary Tuesday, April 23rd. So this is a primary one. So do not get alarmed. Just relax. If you have one, fill it out. If you don't need one, shred it, recycle it. So yeah, a lot of things moving, a lot of moving parts. Of course, Miss Harris picked her VP. Well, I don't think she picked him personally. I think the 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 puppet masters. I think they all got together and sorry, Josh, you're sent back down to the minor league. He was so excited that he was going to get a shot to go to the major leagues and go back to PA, buddy, where you belong. So we got this Timmy Walls guy. What a character he is. Well, would you expect anything less to be the vice president to Kamala? I want to be a socialistic communist president. And they point their fingers, you guys are stuck to democracy. Well, you know what? You know how many times my Facebook has exploded and said, Brian. Could you please explain this to me? How did they do that? Well, the powers to be decided that Joe was too much of a drag on the party. Everybody was complaining that, oh my God, Joe's killing us. He's killing us. We got to do something. We got to do something. So 40 million voters absolutely had no say on Harris being bumped to the big league. And she's still not in. I mean, they have a verbal type of deal where they said, "Well, yeah, we're gonna vote for you." Still, she's still not the candidate. Technically, as she likes to say, "I'm the prosecutor, and it's about details, and it's the law." Yeah, that's funny. It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you guys just kind of like superseded the law, and you guys, what you just did was a threat to democracy. So I don't want to hear any of your Democrats bullshit. Oh, you guys are a threat to democracy. What did we do? You guys just sidestepped will of the people. I mean, what was that document? We the people. We have primaries. That's how we vote in a republic slash democracy. And they just said we don't care. We don't care. The powers to be, the Obamas, the Cirroses, all the big shots, all the head puppet masters decided the will of this election cycle. I'm not worried. I'm telling you, when I read who this Tim Walz guy was, and I'm like, oh, that's right, that's who this guy is. Took his state flag and they threw it out and basically adopted Somalian country's flag. I went, "Oh my god, that's a Somalian flag." They just ripped out their state flag and installed theirs. So here we go, Democrats just ripping everything apart, having to redo everything because they don't want it your way. They don't want it the way of the people, the way it's been in tradition. They want it their way. And I'm telling you folks, hey Stan, thanks for coming in. Um, we got to do this. I mean, we got to make this too big to rig. I think we've got the momentum. This tampon Timmy, that was one of his another. Oh, look what I did! I made sure I passed legislation that boys have tampons in the boys' room. What? What? I can't make this stuff up. I post on social media. I said, "Hey, Democrats, thanks for the easier win because this Tim Walz guy is even more wackier than Harris." So now you got Dumb and Dumber trying to outdone themselves, and how ultra liberal can we get and push? People stand up and push back. Stop being a doormat. Stop letting them win by saying, you guys are deplorables. You guys are weird. You want to talk about weird? There was an interview with Timmy. He's like, this whole border thing. I don't care if the border wall is 25 feet tall. I'll invest in a company and build 30-foot ladders. Swear to God, Google it, look it up. This is the mentality. I knows it. Sorry. This is the mentality of these left Democrats. I mean, everybody like you pick on the Democrats. They make it easy. Tampons and the boys. Grade school passed a law. He passed the law. He was so proud of that he passed the law to put tampons in little boys' rooms. What the hell? At 3 years old, you shouldn't even know what. And someone please refresh my memory. I don't remember when little girls start their cycle. Grade school. I thought it was more high school. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a biology teacher. I'm just a guy. I'm just a kid out here in Harbor Creek. That I'm really getting tired of this. We really need to get pissed off. You can't hear me. No. Oh, that was from earlier. Sorry about that. But yeah, this is just an issue of we have to make a stand. You know, Speaking of stand, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put that in the room here. This is a good one. Only better run mate you have is I know. I know. Stan, you are absolutely 100% positively correct. Is to make it transportation Pete that knew nothing about transportation. He was an army officer. I think he was an intelligence officer, if I'm not mistaken. So you put him in transportation, and he absolutely clueless. Well, I guess you should be like your fearless leader, clueless. Have you seen Sniffy Joe anywhere? Sniffy Joe is low profile. There's Sir Kakalok out there. She's toned down a little bit, but we got some fun videos of her because Joe Biden was easy to pick on. Harris makes it like easy as pudding because she is just so far out there. And people are like, "Oh, it's so good to have her in there." Why? What? Why would you want her in there? She was willing to let a young black man die because she didn't want to do her job and have evidence brought in to exonerate this kid from a death row sentence in California. So you knew he was bad mojo. So I use that example a lot. I know I've talked about it before because this is the type of person that she is. She's not I was a great prosecutor. I'm not even talking about the Mayor Brown crap. I'm not even going to bring this show down that low. To do you all know the deal. You know what happened. You guys can do the research yourself. But and then she points her fingers at us, and you guys are weird. What? You know, um, the squad is being replaced. Thank you. I saw that. I missed. I was going to look that up. I knew Mr. I pulled the fire alarm. I know he's gone. I don't know who got whacked. Hey Corey, thanks for coming in, buddy. The squad is being replaced. I know that. You know. Let's what is gotta say? Walt wants to ban the type of weapon that he carries. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Dave, I appreciate that. I saw I saw JD talking about that Waltz wants to ban the type of weapon that he carried during his tour to Iraq. I want to get one of those just in case. Uh I know that I'm a little older and we carry the M16A1, which is a military AR Armalite 16 first generation. They carry an M4, 3-round burst. 3-round burst. My AR doesn't do a 3-round burst because you're not allowed to have those or be fully automatic or a saw or a 50 cal, So this typical Democrat just doing what the party tells him to do and about, oh, those big scary assault rifles. I don't have one. I mean, I have an AR-15, it's not an M16. It's not an M16A1, 2, 3, or any of the M4 series. Unless you have a special federal license, you can't own one. You have to have a special license from ATF to own a fully automatic weapon of war. It's a 22 on steroids. Anybody want to come in here and correct me? Come join. Yeah. Just bring. Yeah, you can bring him in there. We don't have a guest at 8:30 tonight, so it's just us. I your I love your shirt.
Hey, look what I got. Brian, I was laying down, getting ready to get dressed for boots on the ground. I had to change my outfit because I got a present from Bragg Paganoff, and he said it came right off Miss Brenda's printer.
Right. Mega. Well, it's backwards on our side because the way the optics are.
Okay.
It's Mega.
Make Erie great again.
Who came up with that idea?
That, I think, was a Brenda Shank idea.
She did the artwork.
It's teamwork. It's teamwork.
Can I have a little victory? That I was just sitting around goofing around and I used the Mega flag. Yeah, I know. I gotta pat myself on the back. Make Erie great again. I'm like, oh, and you know what? That's so like rah, because the people
and it's simplistic at the same time.
Yeah, because they're gonna go. I got, but
you don't want your own city great again. Hey, what's the problem?
Yeah, why can't we make Erie great again? So yeah, thanks for coming in there.
We can definitely make Erie great again. Right. And I want to remind everybody, next weekend, I think it's next weekend, Trump train. Woo-hoo!
Nope.
The 18th.
The 18th, not next weekend.
Oh, 10 days. 10 days from tomorrow.
I know you're excited.
So,
we'll put the artwork up there. We got it here, so we'll stick it up there, and we'll put the big flyer up. And then what else did we get a flyer for today?
Oh! I was gonna let Greg do it, but I got a big mouth, and I'm a little bit out there. I'm a little bit weird. Guess what, everybody? It's time to make our grandparents proud of us. It's time to celebrate what they sacrificed for us during World War II. We're going to the USO.
A USO show.
We're having a USO dance at the Meadville Airport. It's sponsored by Restore America, co-sponsored by North Coast Flight School. I'm sorry, Greg. And it's going to be fabulous. We're going to have some guests there. We're going to have a vintage clothing would be preferred. So you can win a prize if you have the best outfit. We're going to have a really swinging time with a dance contest. We're going to have food from the recipes that our grandmothers gave us from that era. There will be, of course, drinks available for everybody. And this is the key, guys. I love coupons. I love coupons. So the price is $25 a piece, $40 per couple. VIP 125, but this is it. I'm going to give you a coupon right now. If you want $5 off on your admission, you bring me in a valid, completed mail-in ballot application. I'm going to give you $5 off on your entry fee.
You can't beat that. Everybody loves a coupon. Brenda just put the ad. I don't know if you can see it, but she
I
actually
can see it.
okay. I'm not sure what you can and see, can't see on your phone, but yeah, she put
I
the
can see everything.
hold
Yeah,
up.
I got my Trump hat here. I
Yeah.
want to say something about Brian and Brenda going out to these talks. Let me tell you guys something. We had so much fun last Sunday, and we're passing out the Trump train tickets. We ran into the nicest group of biker kids. I'm talking about ages 18 to 25, pro-Trump. They were so nice. They were so excited to hear about Brian's Trump train. They want to come out for it, you know. And this is the key, guys. Here's another surprise for you. The first 100 people that show up at Northeast are going to get a free T-shirt saying "Trump, welcome to the Trump train." And on the back, we'll have all the candidates' signatures on it. And I'd like to put a special thank you out to Congressman Mike Kelly, who paid for these T-shirts, and to our founder, Harrison Dunn, who put money towards these T-shirts as well. These are walking billboards, people. We got to get these names out there. We got to educate people on what they stand for. We have to give President Trump what he needs, and we need to swamp this vote.
We got to make it too big to rig because you know we've watched their sinister plan unfold right in front of us. We knew this was coming. We didn't know what it was coming. We didn't think they would go this big and this much of a threat to democracy and just throw out the whole we the people and what we voted for and what I didn't vote for them. But it's
Yeah.
just the fact that I don't support Joe Biden. I don't like anything he's done. But the process is supposed to be sacred. It is who we are, a republic that elects their representatives, and they just threw the whole thing out. We're the
Right.
threat to democracy. No, you people are communist because only people I know that pick their leaders are communist. But hey, what do I know?
Dictator. What do you know? You only took history in school, something they don't offer anymore, Brian. You know.
I get it, but that's okay. We're excited. You, myself, Brenda, the team. Brad's been helping out here and there. We're getting people registered. We've taken tons of applications. We got Trump Force 47 up and running. You can sign up for that. You can get your Trump sign that way. People are like Brian. What do I get this text message? Brian. I need a Trump sign. Hey man, I got one. I had to
Right.
give. I had a handful. I had to give 2 away yesterday because that's part of the deal. You sign up for a mail-in ballot or Trump 47. We'll get you. We'll hand deliver you a Trump sign, but you got to sign up. And you got to take.
gotta sign up. You got to sign up. And let me tell you something else, guys. Everybody's so worried about this being rigged. We are in desperate need of poll watchers. Now, a poll watcher is a little bit different than a poll worker. I'll let Brian explain that. But we're in need of both. And the way to stop them is to get our people in the polls, either working or watching. And Brian, do you want to explain what the difference is to people?
What's that? Poll watcher or what? What?
Or a poll worker. A poll worker gets paid.
Right.
A poll watcher is different.
Yeah, a poll worker gets paid. They're actually there. They're there to get you kind of if you use the poll pad, the little iPad thing that I voted against. Just for the record, it wasn't me. I was the only no vote. You come in, they'll help you get signed in. They'll get you your ballot, and basically you sit down. Now, a poll watcher, I don't think they get paid, if I'm not mistaken.
They do not get paid. And anybody who's willing, we need people down at the courthouse watching. And you need to know about the rules. And Brian, I'm sure, would be happy to tell you the rules. We need people down there watching them open these ballots. We need people watching them count these ballots. And even more, we need people at the polls because we do not have enough volunteers to work at every single poll to go and watch them. If that tablet comes up and it says, ask for ID, We need to make sure they're asking for that ding dang ID. Okay. If they come in and it says that they've already voted, we got to make sure that they don't slide through and let them vote again. There's
Right.
there's there's things in place to make sure that that doesn't happen, that it wouldn't count. But I'm telling you what, everyone who comes to me and says, we're worried, cheater, cheater, cheater. Come on out. We have a job for you. And let me tell you something else. If you don't have the time to do that, completely understandable. If you're not a door knocker, completely understandable. But we're going to have more literature come in. Hey, I can use help sticking stuff in bags. We can use help with phone calls. Everybody has a special talent, and we will take any and all help. Appreciated more than you guys can ever imagine. Everybody wants to help with this election. We got a job for everybody.
It's a team effort, and this is where we struggle. This is where, as a party, we struggle. You know, we talk a big talk. You know, people walk around, you know, pumping their chest. I'm a Republican, rah. Okay, what have you done? What have you done to move that needle? But I was busy. So what? Everyone's busy. Everybody has to go work a second job or a third job to make ends meet because we're building back better. No, we're not building back better. This economy sucks, and we just had a what is it? The Camellia crash, they called it the other day. The stock market.
The Kamala crash.
But look what they did. Look what those sneaky bastards did. They put the announcement of her VP pick. And guess what? So all the media look, oh, something shiny over here. We don't care about people. Just the economy just lost it over $1 trillion, and people just went broke. That's okay because we got another communist that we want to install in the White House with Harris. See, I gotta be careful. I gotta.
Meanwhile, Trump saying, hashtag Trump told y'all so.
Yeah, and you know, this is stuff that we predicted. Hashtag we told you so. You're absolutely right. You know, and then the people are like, but she's a woman. She needs to be. She's black. She's not black. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Because if you
don't want to go that route, anybody nowadays can identify as anything they want. Okay, they can put a cat up there and say it's a black woman. Okay, that's how far left this woman is.
Because if you look when she ran, they debated. Joe Biden and her debated, and she was outright nasty to Joey.
Yeah, she was.
I'm just saying, she was outright disgusting the way she. Then magically, she's the VP because
she loves Joe. We love Joe. They're family.
Yeah. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm so proud to be the first woman from Southeast Asia to be the vice president." Now she's like, "I'm so proud to be a black, candidate." Make up our mind.
Camilla, what do you call it?
Yeah. I knew that video someone would play with that because that is like just so perfect from Boy George from the 80s. I knew somebody would take that and play it.
Camilla.
I don't know if I have it in the queue or not, but if it is, Brenda, we'll.
Behold the camel-toed chameleon, a repulsive creature that has evolved to flourish in the most unforgiving of political landscapes. This slimy lizard possesses an uncanny ability to mimic a myriad of cultures, races, and ethnicities, all in a bid to garner widespread support. Originating from the filthy slums of Southern California, this shape-shifting lizard embarks on a journey to Atlanta for a rally. Here in an instant, the camel-toed chameleon undergoes a stunning transformation into a Southern belle. With this metamorphosis, she adopts the mannerisms and dialect of a native of the Deep South, attempting to blend in as if raised on cornbread and grits.
You all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
Nice Southern accent.
Yes, we will.
The camel-toed chameleon can adapt to nearly any ethnicity. Let's observe from a safe distance as this slimy lizard dances to original music in Puerto Rico. The rhythm and melodies enchant her, and she moves with apparent joy until the moment she's informed that the song, sung in Spanish, is actually protesting her very presence. Such adaptability is a testament to the chameleon's disgusting survival instincts, enabling her to navigate and thrive within the dishonest and often grotesque arena of politics.
This is just one video of like thousands that we found on there, but yeah, there's a lot of things going on. You know, we got the drum chain coming up on the 18th, 12 o'clock in Northeast. We're gonna have the USO dance in Meadville. Top of the date, I can't remember.
September the 28th. September the 28th.
Yeah, September 28th. You know, get a hold of Kim if you want to buy your tickets early or just make a donation. You know, we're gonna retro it back. I'll be the DJ. We'll get everybody dressed up. You don't have to dressed up as you know, that period. If you want to, that's great. You know, if not, we understand. So
If
yeah,
you need help finding them clothes, let us know. We'll let you know where to go. They're pretty cheap. I'm going to get going, Brian. I want to thank you and Brenda for all of your hard work and love you guys are putting out there. You know, everybody, do me a favor. Buy a t-shirt. Call Brenda. The ECRC is out of Trump Vance t-shirts. They don't got nothing. Brenda's got it all. They're awesome, and they're only $20. Show your pride. Show you're a Trump supporter. Get a hold of Brenda. Get a t-shirt. She's got the t-shirt. She's got the hat. She's got the socks. She's got the koozie. She's got it all. So please get a hold of Brenda, all right? You guys all stay joyful, stay happy, and get people registered. Bye.
bye. How does the local Republican Party run out of T-shirts? It's the Republican Party. Now, of course, you know, we were like, hey, you know, Brenda can make these locally and do a quick turn. Once it's set, it's set. Nope, because they hate Shanks, they hate the hunters, they hate that, and they're like, we're not gonna do that. Hey man, shoot yourself your own foot. You know, I got plenty of Trump t-shirts. How many you want? I got boxes of them back here. Brenda can print them out. Boom, pretty quick. But yeah, so you know, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts, and you know, we have to. This is a time where we really have to buckle down. We really do. You got to get people registered. If they want a mail-in ballot application, get them one. If you need one, get a hold of us. We'll personally deliver it. We're always out and about with the Trump trailer. You know, I'll be heading down. I'll be heading down to the dock sometime over the weekend because it's a really popular place. A lot of great people. I met people from Canada. We met two people from Australia. Nice guy and a nice young man the other night, and it's so they've got such a cool accent, and they're like, "Could you please explain this American politics to you?" Because it's like so their world is so different than us. I said, "Well, because you guys are a different country, and you don't have our constitution. You know, we get that. You know, Australia's kind of started out as a place to put the bad people for the British. So, but it's evolved. It's a great place. You know, I don't agree with them on some of their stuff, but that's all right. They're our friend. They're our ally. You know." Uh, and they have shrimp on the Barbie. So, you know, we're taking calls. The number's 814-873-3612. Like I said, we don't have a guest tonight. We've been trying to keep it light because we've got some big shot candidates that said they're going to call in, but sometimes we never know until the last minute. I hate to schedule a local important person and then I get one of the state folks come in and go from there. So Brenda, what kind of fun videos do we have for tonight? Uh-oh. I think maybe we caught her on a union break. I just got a text message from her. I'm trying. So sometimes it's a link to go from one world to the other, and we get it. We had some camera issues last week, and we kind of figured it out. Brenda went online and did some speed tests on our internet. We had some internet issues. Gino. Ciao, my friend. How are you doing today?
Brian,
You there?
I'm here, brother.
We'll turn you up. Give me some volume so the peeps can hear you. How you doing?
Oh, I'm living the dream. Living the dream.
Yeah. How's building back better treating you, sir?
Oh,
As he laughs.
funny. Everybody, everybody that wants to build a home must. I don't know if they maybe haven't been paying attention to a lot of things, but some folks, when you start giving them prices, and they're like looking at you like, "What?" Like, yeah, that's the price.
Well, yeah, the price of it's like you're a great guy, but you're not going to give them the house and not make any money
That's
because
right. Like I've told you before, we really haven't raised our prices. We just raised what it costs us to do business.
a friend of mine out here in Harbor Creek during the lockdown, he was building a home, and he's like, "Oh my God, we had to go to the bank and borrow an extra $30,000 because the price of materials just went through the roof during the illegal lockdown."
Oh, oh yeah, we were. By the time we dug the basement and put in the escalation clause, and by the time from the time we dug the basement, time we ordered the lumber package went up overall almost $11,000.
Wow. Yeah,
Now
I can only
that
imagine.
it has calmed down a little bit. Lumber is somewhat, I'd say, not back to normal, but it's it's
Stable.
available.
So it's
It's
stabilized, and you got good kind of quality, not quality, but quantity.
Yeah, we got quantity, I'll say. I don't know about quality.
Yeah,
That's it's just
I know.
well, and then you're telling people that, hey, still we have to have an escalation clause. We don't know what's gonna happen again. We don't know what kind of games they're playing. I at the end of the day, I can't be sitting there and say, well, geez, I'm gonna eat $11,000.
Yeah, you're a
And that
nice
was
guy, but not
the
that
lumber.
nice.
I mean, there's just a lot of things, but one thing I picked up from the whatchamacallit there, the big announcement, I'm trying to figure out what's little bit trying to get all the information about the stolen valor situation.
Oh,
Which I,
this is a tough one.
why would somebody do that? It's
Well,
not like it's unknown.
I know what I call it, and my veteran buddies are gonna probably beat the snot out of me for saying it. But this if you don't understand the military, he was an E9. That is the highest enlisted person in I don't know if it was his battalion or brigade or whatever.
Right.
He's a command sergeant major. He's the highest enlisted man in the unit. I mean, he basically can walk on water. So he was promoted up to this rank, and then he got orders to go to Iraq, and all of a sudden he quit,
He quit.
retired,
Right.
whatever. Well, the story I read, and again, I put this out because this is a story I read because he didn't fulfill his requirement schooling Con
Right.
Ed for command sergeant major. They busted him down, and the problem that people are having is the fact that when he ran for Congress or whatever he was running for at the time, he said he was the highest ranked enlisted man, command sergeant major in Congress or whatever he ran for. So
Right.
you kind of bent the truth a little bit. Is it stolen valor? It could be interpreted that way. Was he an E9? And he got busted down to I think master sergeant, and but he wasn't command. It's still it's a different pay, but it's
Well,
all also it's not who he was. He was promoted, didn't meet the requirements for that promotion because he
eh,
retired before he had to go in the sand. So that's what people are pissed off about, and it irritates me. Trust me.
well, from what I'm seeing, the clips that are on, the news, that they're saying that, there's video of him talking about the Second Amendment and you know, weapons. I hunt, which the Second Amendment has nothing to do with hunting. But he's like, well, I hunt, but when these weapons of war, and like I carried back in Iraq.
Yeah. I don't know if you came in at 8 o'clock, but we kind of discussed that. That was one of the things we talked about, and I call bullshit because I don't have an M4, which I believe that's what the military has at this point. Is they're up to an M4. It's a 3-round burst, not fully automatic like when I was in. It was the M16 A1s were fully automatic. You just pull the trigger until the magazine was empty. So yeah, he didn't carry an AR-15. I had an argument with a Vietnam veteran about this. He's like, you guys shouldn't have that stuff. I carried it in Vietnam. No, sir, you did not carry an AR-15 in there. You carried an M16A1. That's not true. Okay, well, sir, with all due respect, I'm not arguing with you. So yeah, I get your point.
If we're supposed to be able to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government,
shall not be infringed is the wording.
So obviously, I don't an Air Force jet style, where I could get up and start shooting back at them with that kind of artillery or whatnot, or a tank.
Right.
But, and again, what are we talking about? Guns. Next will be the Bibles. Remember, well, who threw this all out of this?
Well, yeah. Right now in Pennsylvania, I have a brochure. There is 50. I think Chris, if I'm wrong, type it in. Trust me, my gun guy Chris is in here, and if I say one word wrong, boy, I get corrected. And that's fine. That's why I love him.
We want facts.
Yeah, 58 pieces of legislation that are out that they're trying to get through to come after our weapons. And it's so funny. These crazy, weird Democrats call us Nazis. Now, if you remember, you remember your history book. What did the Nazis do? They went through and confiscated all the weapons from we the people because they didn't want an armed people. Well, our forefathers knew that ahead of the time, which we're freaking geniuses. Well-regulated militia and shall not be infringed. I might have the verbiage backwards or forwards or sideways.
Right.
But that's the essence of what the Second Amendment's about.
Well, you'll have some people who argue, well-regulated.
Yeah, right.
Okay, what does that mean then?
Right.
But anyhow, my thing is, you're not gonna find me going and doing something stupid with a gun. I will protect my family. I'll protect my home. I'll protect if I see someone getting hurt.
Right.
If there's someone shooting, all right, well, we're shooting back. You know what I mean? That's where I think where that should be. Where normal people, now when they say weird, now when people have problems, that's another situation. But it's all these little areas. That's not what's affecting the cost of eggs. That's not what's affecting the cost of the interest rates on people's credit cards, car loans, home loans. See, it's all in the weeds. They don't want to talk. I've not seen that whole speech that Kamala and Tim gave. There was no policy. There was nothing with they're like, we're gonna fight for you. Okay, great. That's every politician. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fight for you. I thought we were supposed to tone down the rhetoric, but
right. Well, that lasted about 2 days, and then Joe started his crap again. After they tried to kill the man, the president. What has Harris talked about in the last 17 days? Nothing. Identity politics. She's on script. She reads just like Sniffy Joe does. They are keeping her under control. And what does Mr. Timmy, the vice president, comes out and greets people right into attack mode on the Trump. Right. So they have nothing. They stand on nothing other than hate. Trump. Now it's Trump JD, because he's weird.
And I guess somebody had got on to their website for the Harris Waltz over there. There's nothing for foreign policy and a bunch of stuff too. They're just running on vote for me because I'm a
black woman.
Whatever.
And Timmy, he let his state burn.
Yep.
Burn. And President Trump stepped in and said, hey, Governor, would you like some help? Nope, we're good. It's mostly peaceful, as they burnt half the state down. And it's just this guy is a clown. I mean, and I feel bad because I hate to say that about a veteran, but my God, don't lie about it. Be truthful. Oh, I don't know, what a concept. And we're the weird people. We're the deplorables. We're this. We're Nazis, and it's bullshit. It's all deflection and lies.
Well, it was, you know, whatever the case may be with, I think what happened last night at their uh, coming out, whatever you want to call it.
Coming out.
Whatever.
That's funny, man. I like it.
Why did they do it in Philly?
Because of Democrat stronghold.
Nah,
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I think they were really hoping for Josh Shapiro.
Well, that's a whole nother, but trust me, we can go on and on and on about an hour, and I've always said this. I knew he was on the short list. I knew he was, he's their glitter boy, and they want him. They were rumored to run him. They're going to run him. They wanted to run him in 4 years, when Trump was done.
Oh, yeah. And that's why he didn't want to get on the losing ticket.
He's going to get on. He's on a losing ticket. It's going to kill him. And once he loses on this ticket, he's done. You're going to be another Joe Biden. You tried 3 times. They finally installed you. They felt bad for you. Talk about a DEI hire. They hired him because he was old, not because he was smart. And this Harris is as dumb as a rock. And these people are like, "Oh, we're so excited. She's a black female."
Brian, do you remember? It was about a year ago. They wanted to kick her off the ticket.
She did get kicked off the ticket. She got 0 when she ran against Biden. She had 0 delegates, 0. And then when they put her up there, she had the lowest approval rating as a vice president in U.S. history. Now the puppet masters say, we like Kamala now, right, boys and girls? Wink, wink. Now they love her.
Oh, weird.
Well, that's exactly what they're doing, Gino. You're a smart guy. You work for a living. You guys build, houses, and it has to be square and plumb. These guys just throw shit together and hope something sticks. And talk about sticking. This one, both of them. And I don't know if you could put these two together because they're just going to try to outdumb each other.
Well, I think that's the whole idea. They know she's not. They know she's not going to win. So, just like a sacrificial lamb, here, let these two burn out the clock. And
I like that. I'm going to actually steal that one. The sacrificial lamb. You're right on the money.
That's all it is. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
And then if she does win and she gets more votes than Joe Biden did, it's definitely legitimate, not illegitimate, a legitimate.
Well, Brenda and I were talking about this, and they were talking about even if Trump wins, they're not
questioning it.
They're not going to give it to him. They said they're going to legal mumbo jumbo him and not give it to him. And, and because that's exactly what this is what these Nazi, communist, Gestapo tactics that these Democrats are using is by force. They're going to force Trump out. You watch that, and because they want to trigger a civil war. That's what they want.
So who is the threat to democracy then?
They are. They have been. They just proved it right there. How you can't ask for any more factual proof that 40 million Democrats, dumbasses, went out and voted for Sleepy Joe.
Our friend, our neighbor.
No, they're not. Not anymore. Joe
Biden said we're all neighbors.
No, we're not. The Enemy's at the Gate, bro. That's a great movie, but you might want to watch it. I'm just saying. And so what did they do? They disregarded 40 million people that voted for Sleepy and Kamala. They just basically poof. You don't exist. We're just done. You're done, Joe. You're done. You're hurting the party. You're done.
Do you think there's any chance, even though they said she's the nominee before even the party or whatever coming up?
They haven't had their pep rally yet.
Do you think they may pull something there? Try to say, well, these two, they're losers.
They
I
put
don't
a
know.
they
They must.
they've blown through a lot of her her nest egg. They have. So I doubt they would really empty the coffers, the buckets, um, on a bluff. It's not their money. They don't really care. But
Right.
now again, I have to put the disclaimer out that the media has said that the delegates have given their verbal approval of Dumb and Dumber.
Well, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what happens in Chicago if there maybe there's a little bit of a scuttlebutt, and they're like, we don't want either one of them. We didn't vote for these people.
Yeah. No, but see, you're a reasonably intelligent man. You work for a living, you work with your hands, you've worked your whole life to provide for the community and your family. You get it. You know what it costs to run a business. These
Yes.
two have done nothing but lived on the taxpayers. They've never really had a job. What has Harris done? She did what she did to get where she had to get to, and then, she's been in politics. You you know, uh, Timmy here, what has he done? I mean, other than being in the National Guard and say, I don't want to go to Iraq. I'm scared. As a command sergeant major. I think, okay,
I
that's
think
where
if he's saying things like he was somewhere and he wasn't, that should be outed. That's not right.
Well, you're right, but now we have to get the
That-
media to
yeah.
to play it, and they're not going to, other than Fox, and it's like, "Oh, that's just Fox, that's rigged."
Who owns the media?
The Democrats. We know that.
I don't know about the Democrats. What's that? BlackRock. What's the other?
Yeah. I don't know,
They're
man.
all
I don't
they all got tank. They're little like octopuses. They're all tank. They're all woven in.
can't argue
Brian,
with you.
what
Well, they're
with
right. Remember
Brian?
Walter Cronkite and Tom Brokaw and these guys, they were actually when they looked at you and they spoke to you believe them. These guys, you go from one channel to the next, to the next, to the next. They're repeating the same thing
Well,
over
when they
and
came up
over and over. Like they emailed
everybody got a text, say weird, and they were all saying it, and then they say that we're a cult.
Well, that's
Just
what right. That's what they're doing.
kind of
They're a
bullshit.
cult. No, actually, the Democrat Party has become a cult because they have their main leaders. Well, you guys, you're part of the Trump cult. Do I agree with everything Donald Trump says and does? Absolutely not. But by God, just because the Democrat cult leaders say, "Hey, wink, wink," Camel Harris is now the new person because Joe, he's too old. He's feeble and he's got dementia. No shit. We've been saying that for the last 3 years.
And
Hashtag told you so.
why didn't he step out? Here's the better one.
Control.
It was the media was told, okay, now go after Joe. Why did all of a sudden they started asking all these questions? He had stammered and fumbled around, fell down going up the stairs. How come the media wasn't asking him, sir, are you well enough to serve out your term, to serve another 8 years? Are your cognitive abilities, we're starting to notice that you are failing, that you are misspeaking like some huge, situations, calling the guy that had the former whatever the
I
president
got
of
on the wrong aircraft the other night. That bullshit prisoner exchange. Sniffy Joe walked right into the bad guy's plane. And nobody stopped them. The Secret Service were standing there. You could tell they're like, you could see them talking on the radios. Joe just walked onto the wrong aircraft and nobody said shit about it. Don't you think maybe sort of the vice president would have said, hey, Joey, you're on the wrong plane? Or Secret Service said, those are the bad guys' plane. What are you doing? So we know it, and this whole thing's been a setup, it's part of the master plan. This has been well orchestrated out before you and I thought about it. And now it's coming unfold. They wanted they wanted that debate and they wanted to show how bad he was. And that way everybody was like, well, okay. It's just like Harris. Oh, Trump won't debate me because he's chicken. No, he said, "How about you flip that over and come over to the Fox with a live audience?" "Oh, no, I can't do that." But he went to CNN. He went to CNN. He kissed their ass and gave them every request. No
Yep.
audience. Mics turned off on CNN. He walked in there. He didn't care. But by God, Harris, well, we're going to do it with a live audience. We're going to do it at Fox. "Oh, no, I can't. No, no, I'm doing it." No. So now, who's the chicken? Who's talking shit now? I don't see her up there flacking her wings and, being a chicken. You know, they
I
beat
thought
they
I
beat
thought
Trump
you
up
said
bad.
I thought you said she was a chameleon. Now you said she's a
Chameleon.
chicken.
Well, she's a hybrid chameleon chicken. It's a new thing,
Yeah, to be whatever she wants to be.
right? Well, then, and that's like all her little pep rallies. Oh my God, the one I saw, I literally had pop come out my nose. She had 60 people there. 60. She got mad and walked out.
They had to pay those people to go. Well,
Well,
they're saying a lot of these people that are going to where she had big rallies, she's got some pretty big name singers. So, and then they said once the singers were done, or the performers, whatever you want to call them, leave. A
they
lot of
walked
people
out.
started to do. They're like, "No, I'm not
They
here to
gotta
hear it."
oh wait, because you gotta bring twerkers in or tweakers or whatever they're called to perform a show that that the language in the lyrics of that song are so disgusting. They said, "Could you guys tone this song down a little bit?" Why would you do it? There's children there, but that's the crowd they're trying to play. They're trying to play to the black crowd. So they got a black female rap tweaker girl up there, half dressed, and her lyrics were disgusting. And then everybody well, not everybody, but a good portion said, "We're out of here. We don't want to listen to this. We just wanted to see the free show."
Oh, it is what it is, Brian.
Well,
Well,
that's
hey, I figured I'd call in. You said you needed some big shot, and I was like, well, I'm not quite a big shot, but I'll
yeah,
give it hell.
I didn't have an official big shot, so who do I get? I get Gino, one of the family.
big, yeah, big something, whatever.
Ah, come
But hey,
on. You're just
hey,
a
shout
humble
out.
guy. Humble
Hey,
guy. We
I
appreciate.
am. I listen. I treat everybody the same, and I treat people like they treat me. If they treat me like shit, well, oh well, okay. I guess that's how you want to play it.
Yeah, but at least with my show, you don't have Scott Bremer saying, "Oh, gotta go, Gino." Click.
Well, Scott, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Scott.
He no longer can do that. But you know, it is what it is. I know it's a little bit different. You have a podcast.
I have no
They're there to
time.
make money. They got to make money, so they
I-
got to
lo-
have
as long as my
that.
lovely wife producer stays awake in at her office and plays the videos, we're good to go. But I try to keep, I try not to go over 2 hours because that's a long time, and I know people's time is valuable. It's the evening, it's a work day, everybody work, they got to get up and go. So that's why we moved
Oh,
it from 9 to 8
I,
just to help out.
you get when there's breaking news and stuff like that. I think people want to listen to uh, a few different venues where it's like, see, I'd like to know more about this whole situation with this guy. Is he?
Tampon Timmy, that's what we're calling him, Tampon
Yeah,
Timmy.
heard about that too. It's like, you know, they got video of him. The guy asked him point blank, "Are you socialist or progressive?" He said progressive.
He's full of shit.
Oh no, no. They said, are you middle of the road or um progressive?" And he said
Yeah,
progressive.
he's out there with Harris. That's why they picked her. Like I saw a little meme on Facebook. They took the two characters from Dumb and Dumber and they photoshopped them on there, and I'm
Right,
like,
right, right.
I gotta go with that one. But now,
Well,
man,
we had Weekend at Bernie's, and now we got we got the Dumb and Dumber, I guess.
thank God for the internet, because man, I tell you what, our life was we're boring before all
Oh
this
man,
stuff
you
happened.
know what? Thank God, if anything. Not that I like. Again, I don't like everything Elon Musk does, but at least he's keeping Twitter or X open, and
Right.
they're censoring out anyone.
Well, because he bought it, he can.
Right. And I think he did it because he knew. He says, "You guys you're censoring free speech." Now it's their thing or whatever, but still, and they're putting news out there that was getting hidden before,
Oh,
or they
absolutely.
would tamp it down.
Well, just like Facebook and
Who,
Google, they all
but
got busted for censoring us. They
who,
admitted it. Yeah, we did it. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing.
who's really running? Who's running? Who's the president right now?
His chief of staff. People forget how
I
powerful.
never met him. I don't know. I
Nope,
don't
you're
know.
not. You never do. He's the guy that runs the show. You ever watch? You want to watch some of these shows about the presidency, like House of Cards and stuff like that. Watch these. The key player is the whip and the chief of staff. The chief of staff is the one who wields the power. Really, and especially in this guy should get paid double because he's like, just like a Lord of the Rings and the dragons. They have the guy that's the hand for the king. That's who's running the show, and the guy that whispers in his ear.
It's scary. It really
Very
is.
scary.
And
Well,
we
with this
had
guy, they have to. They have no choice.
And the thing is, they'll say that Trump's going to do this. Right? There was no war. He wasn't going to start any wars, and that's where I said, "Look, what we got the mess we have now." And
Yeah.
remember, before Joe Biden finally came out and told the truth. Well, he didn't tell the truth. The media pushed him. But whatever the case may be, they were telling us your eyes are lying to you. Things are really good. You just don't know it. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Well, I always refer to this administration as like the original Star Wars. When Obi-Wan Kenobi's like, these are not the droids you're looking for. This is not the truth
Right,
that you
right.
know.
The Jedi mind.
Yeah, the Jedi mind tricks. That's what they think we're that dumb that we're like, these are not the droids you're looking for. Oh, okay, these aren't the droids we're looking for, and we walk away. No, these aren't the lies that are true. That then we have circle back girl, and then we have word salad lady. That I'm like, every time I hear her talk, I feel like I just lost 3 brain cells because I don't know what she said. Can't wait to their debate. I can't wait. Can't wait. And I can't wait to Tampon Timmy and JD square off
That
for
ought
the
to be
VP.
interesting.
Oh,
'Cause
that's gonna be a doozy.
I think that Waltz is gonna try to go in and blitzkrieg on him.
Good luck.
A Nazi term,
Well,
but go after him, and I think that JD is gonna serve him his lunch.
oh, he's younger, he's sharper. I mean, I don't know where Timmy went to school, but just the hunger that this guy had and the drive that JD has from his upbringing, he earned everything he has. And trust me, he will let it go. And it was funny. There,
I-
real one last point. This was so funny. Someone commented, JD wears eyeliner. And I said, hey, you know what? The mayor of Chicago spent $30,000 on hair and makeup, and I don't know why. I don't know why his hair looks all foofy, and he's a dark man, so I don't know how much makeup you can put on him. But yeah, so other than that, Gino, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Hey,
Appreciate the
God bless.
call.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah,
And
we're just here, just trying to do our part and get people motivated and registered and get those mail-in ballots if you want them. Get registered,
right.
change your party affiliation.
And
Just get off your lazy backside.
and another thing, don't sit there and stay home on election night thinking, Trump's got this.
No.
You need every vote and then some.
Hashtag too big to rig.
Legal votes.
Well, absolutely. Well, we know who cheats. We know who cheats. I mean, they prove it over and over again, and then we're the threat to democracy.
We don't want it. We want to keep it clear that we're not looking for anything fake. We want real votes, and we want everyone that can and is able to get out there and vote.
I totally agree with you.
That's the only thing we could do. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is.
No,
hey,
thanks
keep
for calling.
your powder dry.
All right, keep your powder dry. Joe.
All right.
Joe.
Peace.
Check out. Well, folks, if you don't know that, it was Gino Montaglio. He is a local contractor, humble guy, hardworking guy. His family came over from Italy, assimilated in our country, and become really great home builders. And he's not the guy that sits in the office in air conditioning. and does nothing. He's the guy out there, driving around, making sure everything's done and helps with the people. So that's who that is. Brenda, you got any videos for us we can play and make fun of?
Yep, let me pull one up.
Thank you.
Warning. The following may upset liberals who don't want voters to know the truth about Kamala Harris.
If you ever wondered how Joe Biden could get the border so screwed up, remember, he had help. Here's Biden appointing Kamala Harris to be his border czar to deal with illegal immigration. And here are a record number of illegal immigrants, 10 million and counting, flooding over the border after Harris was put in charge of stopping illegal immigration. To be fair, Harris got off to a rough start by ignoring the border.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
I'm here in Guatemala today. At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
Harris was liberal on illegal immigration before she ever reached the White House. As a prosecutor in San Francisco, Harris allowed illegal immigrant drug dealers to enter job training and have their criminal records wiped clean. One of the illegal immigrants Harris released went on to steal an SUV and ran down a young woman, seriously injuring her. And, of course, Harris backs sanctuary city laws that harbor illegal immigrants, even criminals. She even backs taxpayer-funded health care for illegals, record illegal immigration, special treatment for illegals, taxpayer-paid benefits. And Harris still doesn't get it.
I've been working on this issue for a very long time.
That's the truth about Kamala Harris. She's dangerously liberal on illegal immigration.
Unbelievable. I mean, I could sit here and I could regurgitate these things to you. I could write them down. I could run them verbatim. The reason why we put these videos up here is you can see it's just not me. This is what they're doing. And she's saying, and like, I've never been to Europe. Well, that's a lie too. Everything comes out of her pie hole is a lie. I'm not the czar. You bragged about being the czar. It was all over the news. You were the czar. It's just one of her look at me, I'm the czar. And then when they go to put her feet to the fire on what of a problem this is. I'm not the czar in the media. We're not the czar. The next media, she was not the czar. They get their script. I swear most of these news people now today on the big TV are nothing but parrots. They read the teleprompters. The people upstairs come up with the type. They approved it. Here's your new walking orders, follow them. Just like whoever the genius was to call everybody, call all Republicans weird. I know there's some video, there's a couple of videos running around and memes running around that shows a picture of, JD's weird with a nice family portrait of his nice, wife that's Indian American and his nice 3 kids, and a nice background. And it shows, the whack jobs that are working for the Biden administration. The guy that has a bald head, wears red lipsticks and a mustache that got caught stealing women's clothes. That's not weird. I guess this is how they're trying to strip who we are down, just like they do in the military. When you go to boot camp, they cut your hair off, they yell at you and they scream at you and they degrade you and they make you do push-ups until you're ready to puke. Why? They're trying to break you down. They're trying to strip that civilian streak off of you and build you back up as a person of the military. That's exactly what this Democrat Party has been doing, is stripping us down to bare nothing and saying, you're weird. You're not right. It's okay. But see, we've argued this before. We talked about this before. Everyone's like, "Oh, she's a woman. She'll be the first woman in the White House." Excuse me, a month ago, you people were screaming bloody murder that we couldn't even define what a woman was. Now, all of a sudden, we have a woman that's running for office that doesn't have a chance in hell of getting there with her ultra liberal bullshit. I mean, I know Democrats, and they're like, Brian, you beat us up pretty hard. I'm sorry. I love you guys. Unfortunately, your party, well, but then change your party. If you don't like what they're doing and who they're supporting and who they're running, get rid of them. I wish we had the numbers, but I know the numbers are tight. Democrats, Republicans. We have been flipping counties all through Pennsylvania. We have, because these Democrats are tired of this bullshit that they're trying to shove down your throats. And just if it's, what was the little saying? Oh, vote blue no matter who. So your vote means that much to you. The men and women that died for that privilege, doesn't matter. As long as they're the right color, they're good to go. Now, who's the racist picking a party because of their color? I think that's a little racist. But I'm sorry, I forgot. We're the racists. We're the Nazis. We're the weird people. We're the party. We're the deplorables. It's all bullshit, people. Don't buy into their crap. Don't buy into their psychological rip down of the American people and the rip down of the American family. There's a lot of single moms out there. I get it. And that's just the way the times have changed. And I get that. And that's fine. But to say men can have children and a governor authorizes a law to put tampons in the boys' room because they can start their menstrual cycle at any time. They should have access. They shouldn't be embarrassed to have to go ask for these personal feminine protection devices. They're boys. They don't menstruate. I'm not a biologist. I'm not a person that knows the anatomy 100%. I don't think that happens that way. I don't think we have eggs. But that's part of them keep telling you and keep telling you and keep telling you and keep telling you they do. Because eventually you're going to go, maybe I am weird. No, you are normal. You are normal. Do not let these people get inside your head and let them rip you apart, call you names. It doesn't work, boys and girls. It doesn't. Don't allow it. If you want to call in 814-873-3612. Brenda, I know we had some videos, so go ahead and then throw one up there. But we appreciate you want to call in after the video.
We have to stay woke. Like everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah. We have to stay woke. Like everybody needs to be woke.
I looped it back. I'm going to cut it off. But you have to stay woke? No, you don't. Just because this cackling chameleon is on some TV interview show, and if you really paid attention, the blonde on the right looked like she was pissed. Don't tell me I have to be woke. Just because you want to be woke, that's on you. It's just like this, you go woke, you go broke thing. You know what? I'm proud of every one of you that has pushed back. Oh, look at you people. You guys just got to cancel culture. Look at you guys. You guys cancel the culture of Budweiser. Well, what have you people been doing for the last 10 years? Trying to cancel our culture. We're not taking it anymore. We are standing up. You tell them No, we are canceling that bullshit culture because it's bullshit. If this little tiny pile of minority people that think they're woke and they want to wear purple hair and spiky things out of their nose and walk around like they pretend they want to be a kitty cat, you knock yourself out. 20 years ago, they would have locked your ass up for being crazy. Now they give you a cat box, take to school with you. So whose culture's being canceled? You know what? I've been struggling with this one all week. I've been struggling. And I didn't know what to do with it. I was online. I watched this guy who's and he had good facts, and I'm like, well, maybe it's just one guy coming up with some bullshit stuff. So I started looking around, and this is a phenomena that I am absolutely shocked, and I've been struggling with my words to do this because words have consequences, and what you say sometimes really sticks. I have to say, as a corporation, Harley Davidson, I am shocked at what you people have done. First of all, they hired a German guy. I don't care. I have nothing against the Germans, whatever. They hired a German guy to run Harley Davidson. Whatever. You can't find a CEO that in America. They are sending Harley Davidson corporate people to classes to be more culturally sensitive and be woke. And they're donating millions of dollars, Harley Davidson, to all this woke bullshit. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. I struggle with this one. I'm trying to be as nice as I can with this one because we have a local Harley Davidson dealership here in Erie. Does he have anything to do with what corporate's doing? Absolutely not. Do not, and I repeat, do not hurt the local business because Kelly Lapping out here, great patriot. He gives back to the community, runs a great shop out there. I bought my Harley Davidson from him. They took an old grocery store and made a amazing place. So these people have put their blood, sweat, and tears into these dealerships. Kelly's at the shop every day. If you buy a new bike, he helps you with it. He takes you outside, gets you a picture. So be very careful with this. Write Harley Davidson corporate and say, knock this woke bullshit off, or we're going to have a problem. I don't want Kelly Lapling's employees to feel the brunt of this. They had nothing to do with this. This is a corporate decision to go woke with Harley Davidson. And I don't think, I could be wrong, I have zero data. I have zero data to talk about this. I don't think your LGBTQRPDMV people, whatever they call themselves this week, ride Harley Davidsons. I could be wrong. I ride my Harley all over the place. I don't see, there's a couple women with purple hair, but I don't think they're part of that community. I don't see any gay pride flags on the back of a Road King going down the road. So let's do this very carefully. Let's be respectful. Let's support our local Harley Davidson shops. Kelly Lapping and his crew out there do an amazing job. So let's be very careful. But let's stand up to Harley Davidson corporate and say, we are aware of what you're doing. We, the consumer, are putting you on notice. We are paying attention. Knock it off. Stop taking the profits that we give you and you guys earn and give it to some woke bullshit that has nothing to do with the Harley Davidson. You imagine going back into Harley Davidson's history. Let's go back 50, 60 years and they try to pull this shit. It wouldn't fly. Those bikers would put their bikes in the middle of the street and they'd set them on fire. Now they cost $50,000. You can't do that. An old Harley back then, you could build one pretty cheap. Now they're so expensive, you don't do that. But the point is, they wouldn't put up with this crap. First of all, I'm not picking on the guy because he's German. Don't understand why the shareholders picked this guy. He's a lefty European whack job, obviously, brings his bullshit here and wants to change Harley Davidson to a woke company. Do not make us go get a Bud Light. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm going to move on. I wanted to bring it up. I want you guys to do the research, dig on the internet. I want you guys to fact check me. And if I'm wrong, I will humbly apologize to all them folks at Harley Davidson. But I looked at it from couple different sources, and they're basically saying the same thing. There's an old saying, and I don't wish it. I do not wish it to happen. You go woke, you go broke. I'd be very careful with this one, boys and girls. Brenda, got another video for us? Something we can pick on Harris administration with, because they make it so easy.
This one is a little long, but it is a good one.
Gives me a minute to drink.
He's back again to wage a public war of words against Tim Walz.
He abandoned us. I mean, what the hell kind of leader does that? I mean, he just, as soon as the shots were fired in Iraq, he turned and ran the other way and hung his hat up and quit.
We'll get to Barron's new message for voters in a moment. But this all starts years earlier, when Barron says Walz's misleading statements about his military service first led him to come forward in the fall of 2018.
So you try to get this message out, but Minnesota's largest newspaper checks it out, says it's 100% true, but yet refuses to print.
When I hung the phone up, I said, what the hell is this, North Korea?
Back in 2005, a warning order went out to the 1st Battalion, 125th Field Artillery to mobilize for a mission to Iraq. At the time, Walz served as the unit's highest non-commissioned officer, but months later, Walz would retire from the Guard, avoid the deployment, and run for Congress. Tom Behrens was next in line for the position and was asked to take his place.
I was like, well, for Pete's sake, if this guy quit, and if I say I'm not going to do it, I mean, what the hell kind of leadership is that? If a company would say that we're going to deploy to Iraq or somewhere and you're going to be gone for whatever amount of time, and then the foreman just says, no, I'm not going. I mean, what does that say to the 500 people that work in that factory?
Behrens would go on to serve in Iraq on a nearly 2-year deployment as a command sergeant major. All while Walz began using that title as a congressman. Behrens says he first contacted Walz with his concerns, sending these letters to Washington. They all went unanswered.
But then we fast forward to the election in 2018 in Minnesota, and you try at that time to get people's attention with this story, and also with what seems to be a very misleading statement that he continued to make about his service.
It kind of just sat there. When he was a congressman, he bragged that he was a retired command sergeant major. I'm the highest ranking person ever in the House, and all this lie that he was telling. The state of Minnesota came out after 2018, after this was exposed, and they said, well, he can say that he served as a command sergeant major, but he can't say he's a retired one because he's not.
And that's what he was saying.
And he was saying that, and there was lots of lots of cards coming in the mail, for him to be elected. They said right on there he's a retired command sergeant major, just tooting his own horn, just hanging on the coattails of people that actually are command sergeant majors that went through all the process and put all the time in.
A spokesperson for the Minnesota National Guard said Walz wasn't able to retire as a command sergeant major since he failed to complete coursework and requirements related to the rank. Verified documents show the Army corrected his service record. Walz was reduced in rank to an E8 Master Sergeant after retirement and his conditional promotion. Alpha News again asked Governor Walz if he's using the command sergeant major rank on his campaign website for political gain this year. A spokesperson said this has been in the news before and pointed us to a past story where Walz said, quote, normally this type of partisan political attack only comes from one who's never worn a uniform.
It's stolen valor is really what it is. I don't know of anybody else that's done what he's done, but we called it the truth about Tim Walz.
In 2018, Behrens gave the story the full court press.
We, retired command sergeant majors of the Minnesota National Guard, feel it is our duty and responsibility to bring forth the truth as we know it concerning his service record. I put together information on it and I sent it out to every single radio station and newspaper and TV station I could in the state. The bottom line in all of this is gut-wrenching and sad to explain. When the nation called, he quit.
Twin Cities TV stations and the Star Tribune were silent, even after Behrens says the newspaper checked it all out. The Star Tribune endorsed Walz in 2018 for governor. Between lockdowns, riots, unchecked crime, and a charred police precinct, Behrens felt he had no choice but again to come forward.
Allowing that to be burned down was just like having the Alamo get burned down. It's like, no, you defend that to the last man. You know, if he would have went to Iraq, he'd still be hiding under his desk over there. Because that's just, just the cowardice that I seen portrayed with him.
So how about when he also comes out and he calls you guys 19-year-old cooks?
I'd take any 19-year-old cook before I'd go to war with him. I don't know how he could even utter such a statement. I mean, it's just absolutely sad.
So this election year, it's all built up again to Barron's new grain bin message.
He called Jacob Fry an abject failure. So I was like, that's what he is.
Walz is a traitor, also made a return.
And the last one I put together, he said it himself too, as well, if they don't like my job, they can vote me out. So I wrote, we got to vote him out. We need to vote him out.
Well, there you go, right from the source, not me just kind of regurgitating the information that I read. There it is, right from the man who replaced the governor. Because someone had to do the job, and this guy stepped up and he did the job. So I salute you, sir. Thank you. That's a tough role to get into. And I know that was hard for him to do that interview to kind of tear down someone that has been in the military like that. But if you didn't earn it, you can't play it. It's that simple, and it's technically a crime. But of course, he's a Democrat, and Democrats never get in trouble or never get prosecuted or never get get name called. So that's why I'm like, this is why we do the show. That's why we do the show, to get you motivated to stand up and push back and say, no, you're wrong and you're a liar. You guys are the cult. You guys are the Nazis. You're the ones stripping our Constitution. Because let's remember, quick history. Did Germany have a Constitution back then? No. So it was whoever could in the military, take over the military. Well, guess what? What do you think's happening right here on U.S. soil? They are stripping apart the Constitution. Sniffy Joe, Harris, and AOC, they don't like the verdicts that the Supreme Court have been putting down because they're getting their asses kicked because their Democrat lying bullshit doesn't stand up in court. It doesn't. And six, not half, not some, but 6 agree that what some of the bullshit they've done to Trump has been unconstitutional, and they've thrown the whole thing out. And we know that. We've been saying that. Hashtag, we told you so. So what do the Democrats do? AOC files impeachment on two Supreme Court judges. And now Sniffy Joe, lame duck, Sniffy Joe, what does he do as he's walking out the door, trying to pull the pin out of the grenade holder so he can throw it in the doorway as he walks out? We need to reform. We need reform. We need reform. That's all he can say. We need reform on the Supreme Court. Hey, Joe, I know you're a law student and you graduated at the bottom of your class and you plagiarized half your crap when you were running for office before. You can't do that. You can't executive order that. It's called the Constitution. That's why there's 3 branches. They're all separate. That's exactly why, is to keep people like you and your party paws out of it. These people were selected. They were vetted. They were voted in. Unlike Kamala Harris wasn't vetted. She was installed as a DEI hire. We know it. But you need to have the balls to say it. And that's where we get a little fuzzy because we don't want to hurt people's feelings. Screw their feelings. This is our country. My family, a lot of them are veterans, served. My grandfather served in World War II. Uncles Vietnam, Korea. I'm not going to stand by and let their bullshit and the local the local Democrat Party walk around like they own this place. They should be embarrassed to have Harris as their person that they're running because she was installed like a toilet. Ooh, watch me get in trouble for that one. Last call for a call. You want to call in? Do a couple minutes of a call. If not, Brendan, you got a couple of videos, and then we'll bring this thing in for a landing.
All right, back to our breaking news right now. We are looking at what's taking place down in Wall Street. The Dow Jones is down about 1,010 points. It's about 2.5%. We've been watching this all morning. The plummet is fueling fears of recession.
Inflation's up more than 21%. Right. And real wages are down about 2%.
That's real life stuff.
Joblessness has increased more than 0.5% since January, and it's something that it just doesn't usually happen in a healthy economy. A rise like that is historically a sign that a recession is imminent.
We have never been down 1,000 points ever, not even intraday on the Nasdaq.
Is that true?
That is true.
Okay. Down 6% right from the get-go. This is heavy big tech. Here we go. Look at them go down. Microsoft is down $20. That's 5%. Alphabet, 5%. Meta, 6%. Amazon, 6%. Apple, 9% down.
Ironically, they brag about things like the Inflation Reduction Act. That's stoking inflation. They brag about all the money that they're giving the world's richest corporations to build factories here. Well, guess what? We gave $8.5 billion to Intel. You know what we got in return? They're going to get rid of 15,000 workers. Is that smart? Is that really brilliant? Is that what we should be doing with taxpayer money? Stoking inflation and losing jobs? It's nuts. What you're seeing right now in the stock market is what Americans have been feeling for the last 3 years. It's just a manifestation of it right now.
All that, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, that is called Bidenomics. That is called Bidenomics, and we are very proud of Bidenomics.
These people actually believe their bullshit. The math is there, and they still laugh and say this is Bidenomics and we're building back better. But the problem is the sheep and the Democrat Party buy their bullshit because, vote blue no matter who. These people are actually voting their country into the ground, which just blows my mind. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Brenda, you got another video? If not, play up the last video. We'll say goodnight.
And only when they cleared that vet did we give them DACA status. And now we're talking about taking it away. It is morally wrong. And when we all sing happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas, these children are not going to have a Merry Christmas. How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we? They will not have a Merry Christmas.
Tammy Bruce joins us now, thank goodness. Another rollback is in order here, isn't it? How's she going to do this?
Yeah,
how's she going to roll back a statement like that?
That is her in her natural environment, 2017, where no adjustments were having to be made. That's who you've got. And the problem is, of course, we're seeing the results now when an administration lies to you. When they lied to get into the office, when she and others lied about the condition of the President of the United States.
Yeah, how dare we talk about Merry Christmas? Again, another piece of our culture that they're trying to strip away from us, the birth of Christ. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Brenda, you got another one?
Getting your feelings about things that have been said, but I want you guys to pay attention to what has been done. They don't want to talk policy. They just want to use propaganda to steal your vote. The left is trying to tout this woman as a savior for the black community, but all she's done is hurt the black community since she came into the game.
I love her energy.
See, the first step in destroying the black community is to dismantle the black family. So aside from her record as a prosecutor, why don't we ask Mrs. Willie Brown if Kamala Harris cares about black families?
Oh my God.
I wonder if Mrs. Willie Brown, a black woman, is also with her. A few days ago, President Trump said he didn't know Vice President Harris was a black woman. I'm trying to figure out what all the outrage is about because she's only black when it's time to get elected. Did I lie?
Wow.
The same black people who are mad at Trump for being confused about her race, ethnicity, nationality, whatever, are seemingly forgetting that while you're touting her as a savior for black people, she identifies as an Asian woman. She chose her side and it wasn't ours.
Wow.
When asked if she would ever do anything specifically for black people, she said no. Whereas Trump gave us the Platinum Plan, which specifically uplifted the black community by increasing capital by almost $500 billion, creating 500,000 new black businesses, and would give black churches the ability to fight for federal resources for their communities.
Wow, wow, wow. I think that is so impressive by this young lady. And if you don't know what she's referencing, so most of you guys might not even know that much about Kamala Harris's record, but she got her start in San Francisco as literally the worst DA. I mean, the beautiful thing about Michaela Montgomery is she's listed nothing but facts. Whereas Kamala has been the presumptive nominee, virtually elected in some very strange, bizarre fashion online with zero transparency, hasn't earned a single vote, hasn't earned a single primary vote. She has nothing. She doesn't stand for anything. We don't know what she believes. She hasn't done any press conferences, any interviews. All she does is attack Trump, and her track record is absolutely abominable. So when she's referencing, Kamala's past, this is a woman who got her start having an affair with a married man, Mayor Willie Brown, back in Northern California, in San Francisco. She was the state's and city's worst DA. San Francisco is an absolute dystopia. She became the AG, the Attorney General for California, and then left that and became the DEI higher vice president with zero qualification, zero track record, just because she fit all those check boxes. So there's literally zero substance coming from the Kamala Harris campaign, like zero. Didn't get elected, didn't earn a vote, has zero qualifications, an obvious DEI hire, which the President Biden himself said that was the only reason that he picked her. What I love about Michaela Montgomery is she is stating facts. She is stating actual data. How has Trump helped the African American community? How has he injected capital, equity, real jobs, real substance? When opposed to Kamala, all she does is attack Trump. And by the way, this is not the first African, and I hate even making it about black or white, but I can't tell you how many professionals, how many colleagues, neighbors, friends of mine feel so insulted by Kamala Harris faking a black accent, faking a down-home jive accent when she's around black people, and then all of a sudden she just changes and shapeshifts into whatever accommodates the target demographic that she's speaking in front of, because she's so desperate for votes, because she has literally zero qualifications to be president. She shouldn't have been vice president. She shouldn't have been attorney general. She shouldn't have been the DA of San Francisco. Her entire resume is just filled with tragedy, calamity, catastrophe after catastrophe. And everybody that I've talked to is just insulted by this woman, especially the people that I know, work with, my neighbors who are black. This is not somebody who represents them. This is not somebody who anybody should feel cares about them. If you were a person of color, if you're an immigrant, look, my parents are immigrants. This is not somebody who is going to care for you. Think about how prosperous you were before COVID. Think about how prosperous you were economically, financially, security-wise. Your dollar went for more groceries, gas, energy under Trump than you are right now. And she's going to be even worse than Biden. Check out this. I got a special bonus for you. This was Trump at the end of the rally inviting Michaela back up. I love it when he does this. So spontaneous. Check this out. This is the most authentic thing a politician can do.
Just to give a little bit of background who this lady is, Trump loves to just show up. He just loves to show up. So they call her the Chick-fil-A girl because she was one of the workers at Chick-fil-A. And of course, you know, people are kind of starstruck. Here comes the president, walks in for lunch for Chick-fil-A. Well, this black girl, being the really outgoing person that she is, she walks up, introduces herself. She's like, "Can I have a hug?" And he's like, "Absolutely." And then, you know, it was just that interaction and that chemistry that he has with people. But he, you know, he's a convicted felon. He's a felon. Well, that's true. Not. We'll get to that bottom of that one real quick. I think we're gonna bring this in for a landing. You know, we've had some great conversation. We didn't have a special guest. We filled up time. We had Gino. We always have a good time. Doing this show. That's why we do it. It's recorded. You know, we got a lot of events coming up. You know, again, let's talk about our voting habits. We need to do better. 22% voting from the Republican Party does not win elections, and it will not get President Trump. And I'm telling you, if you don't have two reasons to vote for Donald Trump, you got him now, because the other side of the party is nothing but extreme left wackadoodle weirdos. You know, let's flip the script on them. So I want to personally thank Brenda. Brenda, thank you for keeping everything going well. I didn't hear any complaints from the camera stuff. We changed some cabling. We got some new routers. I think that helped because I didn't see any complaints or anything. And so I think that little adjustment helped out. I think we have a laptop issue now. You know, again, every week we learn something. We didn't go to school for this. We don't have paid engineers. Brenda and I figured out. Brenda figures it out. And I think we have a slow laptop. This laptop I have here is a gaming laptop, and she's fast. But again, you know, I want to thank you all for coming out. Let's get out and vote. Kim, thank you for everything you've done. Make sure that you take care. Make sure your neighbors are okay. You know, they always say, you know, I always jokingly call my parents after a storm. I said, "Hey, the weather guy said you're supposed to check on the elderly during a storm. So here's my storm checkout." In all seriousness, do that. You just don't know. But thank you all for coming out. Stan and Harley, Chris Phillips, Harley. What's that? I know. You don't drive a Harley. I get it. Thank you, Brenda. You want to roll the outro?
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. Sing it! God bless the USA! From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
All right, everybody, have a good night. God bless America. Let's be safe out there. And everybody, please watch your six. It's going to get a little tricky out there. And I hope I'm dead wrong. And everybody, have a good night. Shank